Against the Jets last week, the Buccaneers came from behind and won 29-27, completing Baker Mayfield's third comeback victory this season, and clearly he's in the MVP race and one of the best quarterbacks in football so far this year. For the Bucs to survive, last Sunday was a very, very impressive win for them. They were dealing with a lot heading into this game. Ibuka, he was viewed as questionable as whether to play. They thought they would have to limit him, but they didn't end up doing it. They kind of couldn't do it because of how close this game was. Even in the middle of the game, Mike Evans, he looked like he kind of pulled his hamstring. He left the game running a slant, just his leg. He just couldn't lift it anymore. So despite all that, and they had a blocked kick. I almost forgot. They up 6, chance to win the game. McLaughlin up to kick a field goal. The kick gets blocked, and the Jets return it to take the lead with 2 minutes left. However, Baker Mayfield's still there, still has that opportunity, and he was just incredible down the stretch. First off, his ability to run the football now. I know we've talked about it a lot. I know he's lost the weight and everything, and that's why he can he's faster. He definitely is much faster now than he was with the Browns early in his career. But it's crazy. He breaks off a 25, 30-yard run almost every game, and he really be jetting. And when he did it in this game, late down the stretch, it was huge. The passes he was hitting to Ibuka down the stretch, just on the money. Now, he did miss someone on a deep pass that was wide open, but he hit a couple other ones. And Baker right now, specifically because of the fashion they're doing it the way that they're doing it right now, winning these close games, late come from behind victories from Baker, it's been extremely impressive. And we already know the kind of weapons that they have. Bucky Irving, he's still there doing very well. Rashad White as well. Mike Evans was until he got hurt, but he had his impact, and Ibuka stepping up. But really, Baker is just the leader of that show, and it's impressive stuff. Now, some of the problems they did have, though, Luke Haggard, their offensive tackle, he had a bunch of holdings in the game, at least 2. And so that their offensive line, sometimes they'd be grabbing when Baker be trying to get out of the pocket. I think their defense toward the tail end, maybe they kind of let up because early they were making a lot of plays, getting interceptions. They actually had a pick 6 in this game, so the defense was snapping from Todd Bowles. But then I think the Jets just kept running the ball. And I think the Bucs defense kind of thought that they kind of already had the game won. But they let up some touchdowns a little bit late. At least the first touchdown I'll give them, but the second one that they let up to Tyrod Taylor when they're driving down the field, the defense has to be a little bit better than that to let that up in that situation. However, again, and even in the drive before Baker had the game-winning drive, up 6, did everything right. Went down the field, threw some passes, ran the ball, checked it down, did whatever they had to do. They got in field goal range to have that position to then normally end the game, go up 9, yada, yada. Right now, I don't really know what else you say about this team. It's year 3 of them running this. Todd Bowles and this Baker Mayfield show, and they seem to be at an interesting point. I don't want to say that they're better. It's definitely you can tell that this is their organization. What I mean by that is they have all the intangibles. It's very professional, but they also have that edge to them, specifically Baker, and they just. Despite the fact that Baker's now on his 3rd offensive coordinator in the last 3 years, they definitely seem to be lockstep into what they want to do. Chris Godwin, very strong chance that he'll play in week 4, so him coming back is huge. I do think that we're going to learn a lot about this team coming up. They're playing a team that's just as gritty, just as physical, and honestly, at the last week, just as clutch in the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be an interesting game to watch for sure. I don't think the Bucs have played a team quite that good all season, and by quite, I mean maybe even close, like the Texans. Now that we look at them, they're 0-3, and these are good wins still, but the Texans are an 0-3 team. I forget who they played in week 1. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. But last week doing that to the Jets, those are 2 0-3 teams that they've played. Man, I'm really completely blank on who they played in week 1. That's crazy. I'm lost right now. But either way, they've gone out, done what you got to do. They've won these games, but now they're going to play the defending Super Bowl champs, who look like they just found their passing game. With the Bucs missing Mike Evans, they kind of need Chris Godwin in this spot. I really do think that that'd be great for them. But Baker, man, this guy, it's incredible what he does for that team and what he's meant to them since he really got there. He was seen as kind of just a bridge quarterback from Brady, retiring, just someone who's kind of stay there for a year, and maybe they'll get some rookies, or maybe they'll even play. I forget the rookie they had at the time. Maybe they'll play him. But Baker he started, and he just has never let it up. I mean, and it's perfect for him. He's been doubted before. He was on the Browns. They gave up on him, and then playing on the Panthers, and they just are just a terrible organization up to this point. Could change this year, but up to this year, been pretty rough. Specifically with how they had Sam Darnold and Baker, and they thought neither one of them could play. But it's impressive stuff from the Browns. A good win, not a surprising win. I'm not going to say so far as to say it was even kind of a letdown. It's hard to win any games in this league, and they were going to the road, and the Jets fighting for their life at 0-3. But it was a backup quarterback in Tyrod Taylor, so we'll see. One thing about that defense specifically, I think that's what we're going to find out more about. But I think Baker running the show in that offense, I mean, grit, guts. He's running. He had 277 total yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He's even tuned back a couple years ago. That was his problem, like those interceptions and fumbles. So it's impressive stuff that we've seen from that offense specifically in every clutch moment that they've had to answer the bell early this season. They played the Falcons in week 1. I knew I was going to get it. I knew I was going to get it before he ended it. And they ended up losing Young Hoku his job with a missed field goal. But every situation that they've had, they scored a touchdown in that game to Ibuka late. Every situation that Baker's had to come through in the clutch, he's done it. It's really incredible stuff. But you don't want to have to be in that situation every week, and they've been in it the first 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens with this team going forward, but it's an impressive start. They're tied for the lead in the conference with a chance to really get the lead and kind of get the lead a little bit. I'm trying to think, get the grab it by the horns a little bit. I think the 49ers would be the only other team other than these two in the NFC not undefeated when they play. So we'll see what happens, and